Hello friends, we now invite you to join us for the Animation Academy. Please welcome your sketch artist, Alex Maher.
Hey guys, welcome. Well, thanks for coming on this cold, frigid morning or day. Oh my God. Welcome to the International Festival of the Arts. My name is Alex Maher and I am a character artist with the Disney Company. I've been doing this for over 33 years. So in my time, I've actually drawn pretty much all the Disney characters, a lot of the classics characters. I don't draw a lot of the modern, the 3D characters. I do some of them, but not that as much as I used to just draw all the classics characters. And my job at Disney has been working the merchandise department, working on character art for product. So that's why we've drawn every Disney character. I was on the pin team for 20 some odd years, from the millennium all the way up to like 2020. So I pretty much have touched so many Disney characters. And, you know, Walt Disney once said, as a very famous quote that he said is, I hope we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse. And so I take that to heart, and so I'm going to draw Mickey Mouse. So he's my favorite, and so we're going to attempt to draw Mickey. And Mickey is, you know, a lot of people think he's easy because he's circles, but he's quite a challenge. And my mentor, who was Ralph Kent, may rest in peace, Ralph got to work with Walt Disney in Disneyland back in the 60s. And Ralph was our mentor in the 70s, in the 80s and 90s. And he told us that the first 100,000 Mickeys are the hardest. Like, oh my goodness. I'm doomed. I don't think, I've been here over 33 years, I don't think I've drawn 100,000 Mickeys. Maybe 50,000. So anyway, we're going to attempt to draw. Anybody who wants to draw along, I know it's kind of cold, our fingers are kind of cold and kind of rusty here. So I'm going to go ahead and start. We're going to go ahead and see, okay, can you see the drawing right up there? I don't see any. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, we're going to start with circles, right? And we're going to do a little bit of challenge Mickey. We're going to not do a front view. We're not going to do a side view. We're going to do a 3/4 view. So it's a little more challenging to draw, but we are going to start with a circle. So in the center of the page, don't do it too large because you want to make sure you have room for the ears. So what you do is just draw a circle, right? And you can do it nice and light. I'm a very sketchy artist. I kind of sculpt the drawing until it comes to life. Kind of like that. Very sketchy. Gotta get my circle in there. And to guide my 3/4 view, I will do a center line. And so if it was a front view, that center line would be right in the center, right? Since it's a 3/4 view, we're gonna kind of do a line kind of come around the side like this. Very light, because that's just a guide. That's not gonna be on the final drawing. And unfortunately, we do not have erasers. So I don't think you all have erasers, but I don't have erasers. So we'll just have to make do. And nowadays, when we draw on computer tablets, and of course, it's easy just to hit the undo button. So it's a little more challenging by pencil and paper, but it's a lot more fun, I think. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of just eye in where I'm going to put the ears. One ear is kind of like a little bit off the top here. It's like half the size of that big circle. Kind of do that there. And please, if I'm going too fast or too slow, let me know. This is actually my first class for this year. So in this, we're going to add another one over here. And you can make it a little bit, I actually make a little bit of an oval. Mickey's ears are a little bit not quite round. If it was a vintage Mickey back in the early days, it was completely round. But they used to use nickels and quarters and dimes to draw Mickey. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start adding his snout area, and that kind of comes off of this. It's kind of another oval at an angle, kind of like that. Does everybody know that the original voice, who voiced Mickey Mouse in the beginning, early days? Walt Disney, right? Yes, exactly. He actually got a lot of people auditioned for the role, but it wasn't what he thought was right, and he said kind of like this, and he did like this falsetto voice, and The animator said, why don't you just do it? You know, so he did it for many, many years. And, you know, Walt Disney unfortunately was a heavy smoker. And after doing Mickey's voice for over 15, 18 years, his voice is starting to get very raspy. And so he had his sound guy kind of take over to do the voice for Mickey Mouse in the mid-1940s. However, his last Mickey voice was like, I think he recorded Mickey in 1946, 47 was the last time he did it. But then when they created the Mickey Mouse Club in the mid-50s, 1950s, he wanted to do the voice of Mickey Mouse, did the introduction. So that is Walt Disney's voice. So we're going to go ahead and add another oval kind of on the top here, going to indicate where his nose is. Again, we're going to kind of bring all these lines together. We're going to darken them in later on. We just want to kind of get the elements in there. So from there, we're going to do his cheek line. And it's almost like if you drew like a figure 8 kind of thing, you see this little one kind of go up around and do another one on this side. It's kind of like if you did like a figure 8 racetrack, kind of like that. It's very lightly just to get the idea. And now, of course, everything in live action is, everything we see is in perspective, right? Everything we see is perspective. So the characters we draw in perspective. So his eyes, when we do his eyes at a 3/4 view, they'll be in perspective. So the far right eye will be a little bit smaller than the left side. So we're going to go ahead and draw in, and it's going to conform to that shape of that circle. So we're going to kind of draw in his eye, kind of curve it in, conform to that center line. So as I was saying, I started off as a senior character artist and drawing all the characters for product. I touched, like I said, from pins to figurines to clothing, t-shirts, mugs, watches, did a lot of watches, a lot of jewelry, a lot of accessories. Anything that had characters on it, we pretty much would draw all that. And so I did that for 20 some odd years, almost 30 years. And then I kind of I've gone on to work on approving a lot of our licensee artists out there. And I oversee all Disney fine art. So that's why I love the Festival of the Arts, because all the artists that I oversee are here at the Festival of the Arts. So I oversee the Disney fine arts, which they have tents here somewhere. I haven't been here yet, but I'll have to go visit them later on. So go by there and say hi to the artists. I work with all those guys. I also do paintings for the gallery for the Festival of the Arts. I have 3 paintings in the gallery here. Apparently 2 of them are not there anymore, so one's there left. But so yeah, you can see one of my paintings in the gallery. And of course, I'll be doing signings on Saturday over here by France, over the tent over there. So it's a fun time. We're going to go ahead and do this other eye. Like I said, it's in perspective, so we're going to do another oval, and we're going to do a little larger, kind of like this. Going to bring it around. Like that. You see how that perspective, one eye is larger than the other eye? So once we get that done, wherever you like the eye, your pupils to be, that's up to you. I kind of have him looking at us, so I'm going to have one pupil kind of against that inside of that eye there, and then this pupil will be a little larger, right about there. And from there, I'm going to go ahead and do a little curve in here to form that little widow's peak that Mickey has. It almost looks like a curved eyebrow there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, but it's going to go all the way to the top of that circle. And bring it around. Oh, I got to touch this cheek line here. All with me so far? Too slow, too quick? We're good? We're good? Yeah? All right, so we're going to go back to this cheek line, kind of bring that in. Below that, we're going to add another one, kind of curved down a little bit more, like that, to find where his smile is. And now we're going to go from that nose all the way around to touch that little line we just drew. So I'm going to start up underneath the nose here. Kind of just do a nice big curve. Attach it up to this side here. And darken that line in once I like where it is. Add that here. And then from there we're going to just do another curve on the top to connect that top of that snout into this, and then another little curve on top of that. And now we want to, of course, add his mouth in. We're going to have a nice big mouth. We're just going to kind of just do a nice curve, come down and around, almost like a hook, almost like Captain Hook's hook. There it is. And bring it around here, like that. And then we're going to add in his tongue, just two more curves, one kind of curve like that, sort of like two little hills in the background, one overlapping the other one. And then we're going to add that same curve of his mouth to form the bottom of his lip. A little thicker at the bottom of that. Bring it around. And kind of flare it out when it comes up to the face, the head there. You got all the elements in, so now I'm going to go and start darkening some of the lines that I want to keep. So we're going to go ahead and darken in this nose. And then I'm going to go ahead and start defining that head more. Get a darker line going. Again, you can start, and usually on the eyes, on the top of the eyes, I actually darken that in. It kind of gives them a little bit of look of almost like eyelashes, like an eyelid. Gives it a little more cutesy look. And go ahead and darken in his pupils. And finish the rest of his head. chic here. Darken all these lines in. Now you can start actually darkening in those ears. You know, a lot of people ask me who's the hardest Disney character to draw, and I have to say Mickey is probably the hardest to draw. I've done quite a few bad Mickeys in my time. And you know, all the artists, we all have a formula how to draw Mickey, but we all draw them differently. Every artist, we all know who draws what Mickey. So we'll look at all these Mickeys on a wall in our office and it's like, oh, Brian did that one, or Joe did that one. You know, so we all know who draws what Mickeys. We all have different ways of drawing them. I hear someone yelling at me, hey! Hey, is that Ron?
Hi, Ron!
Ron is one of our best Mickey artists right there. Alrighty then, now we pretty much have them down and we can go ahead and start filling in the dark areas. We can fill in his nose. And start filling in his head. And then ears. Very rough. And then, of course, inside of his mouth. How we doing? We're all there? We're all good? Kind of catching up? Are we good? Awesome. Well, that's the mouse that started it all. That's Mickey Mouse. So that's how you draw Mickey in a nutshell in 15, 20 minutes. So like I said, one of my roles is mentoring a lot of the young artists that come in from college and things. So constantly teaching them the ways of the characters and the way to draw the characters and the integrity of all the characters. Like my mentor Ralph did for me and all the other artists. So just trying to keep the legacy going, keep it happening, keep it working. So when you finish your drawing, you got to make sure you sign it because this is your piece of art. So you want to make sure you sign your piece of art. And make sure you date it also because you want to look back and say, wow, look what I did 20 years ago. This is amazing. 22nd to 25. Wow, okay. 1/22/25. And that's Mickey Mouse. Thank you. Well, we have a few more minutes. I don't know how much time we have, but I think we have a few more minutes here. Sometimes, yeah. Does anyone have any questions? We have a few more minutes of question and answer or something. Want to ask? Don't be shy. You can just ask some question. It might be too cool to ask a question. Who knows? But anybody have anything? Anything? All right. Oh, question in the back. Yeah, I go to college. I just started. Well, I've been drawing all my life. My dad was an artist. I just drew, and I drew Disney characters for fun since I was like 5 years old. I can remember. I didn't go to college for art. Actually, right out of high school, I joined the U.S. military, and I was in the Navy, and I drew characters in the Navy, and I did graphic design work in the Navy, and I learned a trade. And when I got out, I started just working in graphic artist departments and things like that. Always wanting to work for Disney, and I would write letters and send resumes and things and portfolios, and so I moved here, and then I started meeting people and getting to know people and showing my work. They liked what they saw and they put me on. That's how I got on. However, a lot of the people we bring into our department these days, they're all art students from college. The majority of the people we bring on are college graduates. It's not necessarily, I mean, I don't want to say that that's the only way of getting in. There's other ways of getting in too. So I'm proof of that. I don't have an art degree, so. But I did go back and go to school for other things too. So yeah. Thank you for asking that question. Appreciate it. Anything else? Anything else? Yes. What's the best part of my job? Drawing these characters that I love. I love all these characters. They're like family to me, right? And I watch the films all the time. Now with before with my kids and now my grandkids, just I'm reliving it all, and I just love these characters. It's part of my life. I love doing this stuff, and that's the best part. And just meeting like-minded people who love Disney as much as I do. So I can go on and on talking about Disney. So yeah, I think that's a great question. Thank you. I've never gotten that question either. I love that. Yes.
Have you worked on any of the films or shorts, or do you mostly do like marketing?
Yeah, have I worked on any of the films or the shorts? No, that's a different department. That's mostly in California at the animation studio. We work with them to learn how to draw the characters. Like when Lilo and Stitch was in production, that was here in Orlando, and we were in the same building, so I was able to learn how to draw Lilo and Stitch and all the characters. But not for animation. I learned to draw, put them on product stuff. So we work very closely with them. We don't have to make them move, so we don't have to sit there and draw like 24 drawings per second, After you do like 24 drawings, that's a lot of drawing, and you're like, oh my God, it's only 1 second of film time. So it's kind of very tedious. Like my friend Ron, that just said hi, he was an animator for a while. And he actually started animation, and then he came to work with us after like 15, 20 years or something. So. Yeah, I have so much respect for animators. They're amazing. There's an artist here, and I haven't seen him yet. He's down over here, I believe last year he was. His name is Scooter. Have you seen Scooter? He is a fantastic artist, great friend of mine. He was an animator. I worked with him over there in animation for a while. And awesome guy. Say hi to Scooter. Tell him Alex said hi. So I'm going to go find him one of these days. So. Well, thanks, guys. Any more questions? I don't want to. Yes, I'm sorry.
Other than Mickey, do you have favorite characters?
Other than Mickey? That's like, oh my gosh. That's like saying, other than this child, do you have any other favorite children? I love all of them. I do love drawing a lot of obscure characters. Like, I love drawing Tinkerbell. I'm going to draw Tinkerbell one of these days here at the festival. I love drawing the Pooh characters. They're a lot of fun. They're so sweet. Yes, lots of different characters. I don't draw a lot of the human characters, a little harder, but Tinkerbell's kind of human, so yeah. But, yeah, that's a good question. I like drawing all of them though; they're fun. And we all have model sheets, right? That's where all the animators can get them looking all consistent. There's a model sheet showing the characters in each different view of the character, every angle, so you can learn how to draw them. So when someone asks me, "Can you draw?" I'm trying to think of a character, obscure character right now. Like, like in Beauty and the Beast, like you can draw Cogsworth. I mean, I can draw Cogsworth, but not from my head, my memory. I have to bring out a model sheet, and then I'll be able to draw him. If I have something to look at, I can draw him. Yeah. Thank you for that question. Thank you. Anything else before we leave? Yes. Yep. A Disney animated film that I like? I always harken. My first one that comes to my mind is Lady and the Tramp. I love Lady and the Tramp. One of the most perfect films I've ever seen. So beautiful. Those dogs are so damn cute. One over there. What I look for in portfolios and mentor, just drawing skill, and don't be not characters. I don't want to see realistic characters. We want to see how you just grasp humans, or animals. Like if you're just here in the park drawing someone walking or whatever, if you can just get that gesture of that figure down, or an animal somewhere, that's what we look for. We just see that skill, that's drawing skills, and That's the key right there. You'll get in right away. If you have those. So, well, thanks for coming, guys. I really appreciate the time. It's really cool. Have a great day at Festival of the Arts. Appreciate it. Hope I'll see you around.